For years, I thought ear training meant drilling intervals and memorizing theory flashcards, but it never actually helped me play better until I discovered a completely different approach, one that finally connected my ears to my hands. So in this video, I'll show you the new way to train your ear so you can hear something in your head and actually play it on the spot. So out of all the guitar lessons you've watched on YouTube, this may be the one more than any of them that you not only have to try it yourself to understand it, to really grasp what I'm going to show you, but to really reap the benefits. You have to just try it. And for me, it actually worked right away. And after doing it a number of times, it really sunk in. And it all started with a guitar lesson I had with this guy. After I went to college for music, did tons of ear training, and that helped a ton. But I still wasn't hearing things internally as well as I would like. And this guy just showed me this exercise, and wow, did it click. So let me just tell you a little bit what the exercise is. I'll show you how I'm doing it myself, and then I'll break down a little bit more about how you can try it out yourself. So basically what it is it's a way to develop your inner ear so you can hear what's going on in your head, and specifically with chords and where single notes that you're playing, where they're going from one chord to the next, so you can play notes in those chords without having any idea about the theory of like what's going on, or even knowing the chord progression, or just hearing it in real time for the first time, and you just kind of tell where it goes. So it's this little it's like a little game, right? So say we're going to start with A, right? No matter where you go, no matter what the chord progression is, right? If you play a major chord and you move it anywhere randomly on the neck, and even if you change the quality to say a minor, you can play it here, minor, major, whatever it may be. If you start off by playing a note, we'll keep it simple, just play on the first string, a note that is in that chord. So in the example I am going to show you of myself doing this, I have a pre-recorded thing because you have to play with a recording or play with somebody else. It's actually a great exercise to do with someone else that you're practicing with, by the way. You got to start, just know that your first note, right? So you're using A, right? So it's that root note. We have note theory. Forget I even said that root note. Play that note. No matter what note I go to next, let's say it's a chord. I go down one chord. You just move that down one fret, and then wow, you're in there. But I could move real far. I could move randomly. I'll say down to here to this chord. That note is still in that chord. So what happens is, no matter where you are, you're on a chord tone in a chord. No matter what that chord goes to next, no matter how random it may be, and whatever changes quality from major to minor, vice versa, you are either going to be staying on the same note, will also be in that chord, or you go down a fret or up a fret, or down 2 frets or up 2 frets. So it may sound like a lot. There's like 5 different notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's really just like a 2-note radius. You're either going down a fret or 2, or up a fret or 2, or staying the same, right in that center there. And sometimes there's going to be 2 within those 5 notes that are in that next chord. So you actually have a 2 out of 5 chance if you were just guessing. But the idea here is you're not guessing at all. You're going to wait, you hear that next chord, and before just randomly playing it, you want to hear it in your head before you play it. And that's going to be the thing that really internalizes your inner ear, because we all have the same ears, some people may have, maybe damage to their eardrums. It's not like everybody's ears are exactly the same, but if you can hear something well enough, it's not going to make you magically a great musician and having a good ear musically. And if you have excellent, vice versa, you have like excellent hearing. You took a hearing test and it's like, wow, off the charts, you can hear, a pin drop in another room. That doesn't mean you're going to know what's going on musically. It's like somebody with hearing that isn't very good, like a lot of, rock stars that just have blasted their eardrums out. They still might be able to know their inner ear is really good. We want to get what we call that an inner ear, which is really just your brain. So we're working on our brain here. When we say working on our ears, it's really our inner ear, which is really just our brains. So when you are thinking ahead, you can hear it in your head, and then you play it. And when you try this exercise out, you're not always going to get it right, but that's how you kind of you course correct, and you just keep doing this, and you'll get better and better. So let me play it. I'm going to play an example I recorded a few days ago, and all I remember is that I started on an A. So I'm going to start this as my starting point, And then the next chord is very random, and I'm gonna either stay on it, I'm gonna go up and down a fret or two. I'm just gonna go through like 5 or 6 chords, playing through and really taking my time. I don't play the note right away because I gotta listen, I gotta hear. And I'm gonna listen and hear, is it staying the same or is there this pull up or down? So let's hear it. So you could see and you could hear that sometimes I stayed in the same note. Sometimes I just went up a fret, down a fret, stayed in the same. I was just hearing where it was going. And again, this is one of those things you just can't really know what this is like till you try it out yourself. But what it does is you start to hear where things are going. So you get not only your inner gets better, but your intuition. So when you're soloing, you don't have to be just kind of like playing through any old scale, but you can play with those chords better without having to actually learn, and memorize where these chords are and be thinking. The idea is you want to get out of your head and just hearing things and playing. And for me, at least just for me, this exercise just really made something click. So you really got to try it out yourself. And if you're digging this and you want to feel more confident jumping into a jam, I put together a free jam survival guide. It's full of tips that will help you stop overthinking and start actually playing, So the link's down below if you want to just check it out. But so now how do you do this, right? Well, one, if you have somebody that you practice with, perfect. You play, you just turn your back so that you can't see them, and you just go back and forth and practice this stuff. And maybe you're like, oh, you're a little bit stuck. Like they could give you hints, and like, oh, you're getting warmer, you're getting colder type of stuff. And you can, just a great way to help each other get your inner ears a lot better. But a way you can just do it on your own, it's really easy, is just use something like your phone and just use the memo app. No matter what kind of phone it is, it doesn't matter the quality. Just take the phone out, just hit record, and start with a chord that I'm going to start with that A or whatever it may be. Maybe start up here, the D, whatever it is, and then just start going random and just keep doing it so you just forget what you're doing, and you can play back with it. If it goes too fast, you don't want to play slow, maybe it's boring, it takes too long, just go into the app and just slow it down. They all have it, like the iPhone, the little memo app. There's an option to just slow it down, I think up to 25%. So you can slow it down so it gives you more time to kind of hear it, not on the chord, but hear it in your head and to practice this out. So this video, it showed you that you don't need theory to start training your ear. But if you do understand how modes work, it takes your inner ear to just a whole nother level because you start hearing color and emotion in a totally different way. So if modes have ever confused you or you're just ready to hear music more deeply, check out this video next. It'll break it down step by step.